Yeah, I've been singing ever since I was a kid. Every Andrea that I know sings a little bit. I think if someone wants to work with you, they'll work with you, irrespective of whether you're on a red carpet or not. Till Vishwarupam, my family thought I would quit and go and study. Working with Vetri sir is going to be very scary, but I'm looking forward to it. Child rape is the ugliest thing in the world for me. Small films made from the heart don't see the light of day in this industry. I'd rather have a bunch of flops than a bunch of unreleased films. I do speak Tamil though. I speak and read and write Tamil. He stood up and said, please sit down. He really deserves all the stardom he has. Really does. Every single pop star in the world or rock star in the world, they had a team backing them and supporting them. I mean, they encouraged my talent as a hobby. They were very supportive when music was a hobby. The moment it became a career, nobody was happy. I have 3 albums worth of songs. It's all sitting on my laptop. இதுவரை இல்லாத உணர்விது இதயத்தில் உண்டான கனவிது பலித்திடும் அந்நாளை தேடிடும் பாடல் கேட்டாயோ.
Hi and welcome to Cinema Pesalam. Our special guest today is a multi-talented artist. She's a singer, she's an actress, she's also a writer, and you can add a lot of things to that list. It's a pleasure to welcome Andrea. Andrea, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So, Andrea, before we talk about your career and you being an actress, could you tell us what was your childhood like? Were you a naughty kid or were you a geek? What was it like?
I was a geek.
Okay.
I must have been a very boring kid because there was this one time we went to an ice cream shop and a man accidentally gave us one extra popsicle. You know, they used to have Arun ice cream, that mango vanilla duet or something it was called. So he gave us one extra ice cream. I went and returned the ice cream.
Okay.
So I was that kind of kid. Like, now I'm thinking, wow, why did I do that? I should have kept the ice cream. So yeah, I was a geek and I was a very goody kind of kid.
But if I'm not wrong, you aspired to be a psychiatrist, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah, I did actually. I was a science student. That was later, yeah.
Right, okay.
When I wanted to be a doctor and I wanted to specialize in psychiatry. Maybe the suicide rate put me off, I don't know.
So you grew up in Chennai, is it?
Yeah, predominantly in Chennai, yes.
So was singing always in your mind, like as a kid, like were you?
Yeah, I've been singing ever since I was a kid. So that was my childhood. School, classes in the evening, homework. That's it. And playing maybe once a week in the weekends.
Okay. But singing, did it happen because you come from a Catholic background? Because a lot of my Christian friends are into choir.
That may be true actually.
Right. Okay.
A lot of people also say, a lot of people whose names are Andrea, they all sing.
No, Italian.
Is that a strange
They all
coincidence?
sing. It's a very strange coincidence. They may not sing really well, but they all at least they'll sing.
Do you have any other friend with the same name who could
Every
sing?
Andrea that I know sings a little bit. At least a little bit.
Right, okay.
When I see you, it feels like walking in the rain, catching stars that never fall.
There were some inspirations like you were looking forward to when you were a kid, like some singers. Whom
When I was a small kid, my mom used to listen to a lot of country music, so I guess that was there in the back of my head. But when I was old enough to choose the people I listened to, I used to listen to a lot of Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. They were like my idols, and Shania Twain, I used to love her too. And then I discovered jazz when I was late teens. I discovered jazz.
Okay.
Like late meaning like 1920. Yeah.
Okay.
And that just changed my life. And Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald. So yeah, my musical influences kept changing, I guess, and evolving.
When I'm with you, the years just slip away, till all that's left is me and you. And maybe I don't say it much, but I know you feel it in my touch, and words will never be enough to explain.
Okay.
And weren't you supposed to go to school in the US for music?
I did. I was supposed to. I applied, but life happened, I guess. Life intervened, and I never wanted to be an actor. So it just happened.
It's strange you say that, because in several of your interviews you admitted you wanted to be a singer and acting happened by chance. But it's surprising because you've established yourself as a very successful actress.
That's what I mean by life. It's just, that's how it is. I had no say in the matter.
Right.
It just happened on its own.
But you were involved in theatre in college, right?
I did, but that was more like, the thing is, because I used to sing, we used to do a lot of musical theatre. So from musical theatre, sometimes I used to do a couple of, non-musical plays as well. But it was never something I would have pursued more than music, but it just happened.
But because even today when we see you, like compared to other actresses, we never see you like very focused on acting or something. Because
I'm not as aggressive.
Aggressive as
I'm
others.
not as aggressive about my career, because also I think as a personality type, it's not my style to go and push and promote, and I can't do that. It's difficult for me. So I tend to do films where filmmakers want to work with me, but I take my work very seriously. So when I do something, I do it 110%.
And baby, I don't wanna know if you'll stay or if you'll go. A moment at a time is all I'm taking with me.
Is that why you're not probably hungry for limelight? You don't give too many interviews, if I'm not wrong.
No, I don't, because I also feel like, what is there to talk about? I mean,
but because we also don't see you like too many red carpets and award events.
no,
and stuff.
I generally avoid award shows.
Okay, because
I do find them a little tedious. Sorry. But I mean, if I'm performing, I love to perform.
Okay.
So that's the only time I attend award shows, actually.
But don't you think like out of sight is out of mind? Like people, when they see you more, they tend to give you more chances.
I still have 3 films that I'm doing, and they're with national award winning directors. So I think if someone wants to work with you, they'll work with you, irrespective of whether you're on a red carpet or not.
So from singing to acting, and it so happened that the first film that you had given, you dubbed for Jyotika, and you ended up working with that filmmaker Gautam, right? Did that initial phase of working with someone like Gautam Menon, Selvaraghavan, Vishnuvardhan, did that kind of motivate you to continue acting? Because they're all very established filmmakers who know the craft well.
That's the irony of it, is I never grew up watching Tamil cinema. When we were kids, my mom never took us to the movies. Till date, my mom, in my entire life, my mother has seen one film.
Whoa.
English Winglish, because she's a Sridevi fan.
Okay.
So only for that one movie, I know that she has gone to the theatre. So we never had that culture of watching films. So I never grew up knowing all these big directors. I didn't know anything. So it just happened purely by chance. I was doing theatre. One of Gautam's assistants was a theatre artist. She called me to audition for an ad. I did the ad. It was very organic.
Okay.
It was,
Okay. But then how did your family react? Now that you said your mom
they
has just
didn't
watched
want me
one
to be they wanted me to leave. Till Vishwarupam, my family thought I would quit and go and study.
Okay.
They were waiting for that. And there, I guess, Vishwarupam in a way is, it kind of solidified things in a way, even in my head. So I was like, okay, so maybe I should take this seriously.
Okay.
So now I do take it seriously, to answer your question. But I'm just, I'm not very aggressive about things.
And also the type of roles you do, they are not very mainstream, meaning in the sense of like a glamour heroine or something. They tend to have some glamour of when you act with a big hero, like singing and dancing. Those things you haven't done that much. Your roles, even though you've done movies with big stars, they tend to be like different than say one.
Like I said, I guess it's the way that filmmakers perceive me also. Maybe they see me in that space. It's not that I have consciously said no to anything. It's I work with people who ask me to work in their movies. So they look at me as someone who's bold, or someone who's different, or someone who has a different kind of face or a different kind of body language. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Okay. And when you did the first few films, how was the journey like, Andrea? Was there a little bit of struggle, or did you like it or did not like it?
I would say that I'm struggling now The beginning was very organic. I didn't do anything. Everything just happened.
Okay.
But then I think after a point of time when you want to change what you are doing, that's when you struggle, because you're trying to do new things. You're trying to do different things.
Right.
That's the struggle for me right now, because
Right.
I get bored easily.
Right.
So if I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I'll lose interest.
Right.
So I'm in that phase where I'm looking for things which are exciting and challenging, and it's difficult.
Right.
So that's my struggle
But
right
taking a cue from that, Mr. Ram in a recent interview said your role in Taramani would be probably a life-changing role for you. Why? I mean, why is that? Do you believe that it will be a lifetime role for you?
I think I always told Ram sir that film will probably change my life in some way. If it releases and does well, hopefully it will change my life for good.
Okay.
If it doesn't, on the other hand, I'll probably just quit, because I'll lose my faith in this industry altogether.
Okay.
That's why.
But
because it's very difficult to when a bunch of people really work from their hearts, and they put everything they have,
Right.
and they work not for fame, not for money, but because they believe in something very strongly, and it just is stuck for so long for reasons nobody knows. It affects your general faith,
Right.
I guess.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Is the singing, is it the fallback, like whenever you are in acting, but singing you have more control over like what kind of songs you sing or the albums? So do you use
I
this as a
have
fallback?
control over what I write.
Okay.
So
The independent music, like the
independent
singles
music,
just
that's the
coming out
only thing
today,
I have control over.
not the playback.
I have no control over playback.
But I do know that you go to London often or something. Is there something like, are you trying to do any collaboration in the international?
I
with
did
the
a
artists?
collaboration with Arjun Kumarasamy,
Right.
who's a London-based Sri Lankan Tamil,
Oh.
but London-based English,
English. Okay.
Hindi English artist.
Right. Because since you get bored easily in creative space, but you will always look forward to, okay, in the last 5 years I have done this, so the next 5 years I have to do something different.
Something
that's
new.
Thought
Yeah.
process,
That
do you
does
plan
happen.
for it, or hey, next?
It's not a plan. It's just it's like an urge. It just comes. I don't know. I wish I could just be happy doing like the same things. It's very comfortable, but I feel like I have to break out of that zone. That's the space I'm in right now, and it reflects, I guess, in the films also that I'm doing. I recently did a bilingual with actor Siddharth, produced by him as well.
Okay.
And that was also different and challenging because I don't speak Hindi, but it's a Tamil Hindi film. So I had to learn some Hindi, and it turned out to be good. I was terrified, but it was a good experience.
Right.
And working with Vetri sir is going to be very scary, but I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
And I'm working with very interesting people, Miskin sir, and
Right.
and waiting for Taramani to release whenever it releases.
Right. But you started off, with some really good author-backed roles, with Selvaraghavan, then with Gautam Menon, and then somewhere in between you did try your hand at, commercial roles as well.
It's not that they came to me. I thought, I guess why not? But now I think I have gone back to
Correct. Yeah.
what I like doing. Or
Why is that? Were you not happy with the roles that you did, or?
It's not that I was not happy. It's just maybe my wavelength doesn't match.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's a movie called Pudiya Thirupangal or something,
Yeah.
which is not released.
That is
Maybe
not
that was
released.
more on the conventional side. Or,
I did that film only because it was on child trafficking.
Okay.
And it's a very real issue. Even child
The
abuse
child,
is a
yeah,
very,
couple of
very
days back.
horrible thing to deal with, rape is one thing, but child rape is the ugliest thing in the world for me. And that story revolved around child trafficking. So forget about being an actor. As a person, I felt like if I could do something to raise awareness about that cause, it's my responsibility to do that.
Right.
And Madhu Ambatsa was the DOP.
Cinematographer.
Yeah, he was the director of photography, and the director Sharada Ramanathan. She's worked with the UN, and she made one film which had won national awards as well. So it was a good technical team. But again, for some reason, small films made from the heart don't see the light of day in this industry.
True.
So I really don't know.
It's completely
why.
done. It's ready for release, is it?
That was done many years ago. The producer just never released it. I have no idea why.
Right. But do you also feel as an actor, once in a while, it takes a lot of guts to do something like this, to spread
it doesn't
awareness.
always work in your favor, I guess. It really doesn't. That film is not about me. It's about a kid.
Right.
It's not about me at all. The hero of that film is a little girl.
Right. Right. But you did this for a say a social consciousness, social responsibility. On the other hand, you also did a Vishwarupam with Kamal
Yeah,
Haasan,
of course, you have to balance things
still
off.
struggling to come out. Did that upset you? Because you had said in an interview
Of course, it
that
upsets me. If for any actor, an unreleased film is really bad.
Right.
I'd rather have a bunch of flops than a bunch of unreleased films,
Right.
because it's unrealized potential.
And you never know when it is going to.
Yeah,
May not even.
And if I'm not wrong, you have a very extended role in the part 2, right?
yeah, I do.
A lot of action.
Yeah, it's a kick-ass role actually.
Okay.
So I am disappointed, of course, with Vishwarupam and Taramani not being released.
Right. Right.
But how was it
Sudhir
working?
Tirupanggal was never meant for
Okay.
theatrical. I did it because I thought it would go to festivals.
Festivals. But you didn't even go to the festivals.
I have no idea. Like I said, what producers do with their movies, I have no control over.
Yeah.
Right.
But how was it working with Mr. Kamal Haasan? He's acting.
I mean, it's like going to school, because he's amazing. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing person. He's a very inspirational person to be around.
And you were lucky to work in Uttama Villain also,
Yeah.
which was like back to back. So
3
Yeah.
films in a
three
row.
films in a row.
Technically too. Vishwarupam
It
is.
was like
Part 1
Yeah,
and 2.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
But
no,
is-
he's
is-
amazing to
Is
work.
he also very demanding? We were told so.
I mean, a lot of people might find me very demanding. When you set high standards, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
True.
So he automatically, I think, works with people who also set high standards and who aspire to better things. And we may not always succeed,
Right.
but at least we're trying. And if we don't keep trying,
Right.
then it'll just stagnate, no? And
Right.
there's no point in that.
Right. Okay. And you've been writing from a very young age. You started writing poetry, if I'm not wrong, as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
And then slowly you started writing songs as well. You
Yeah.
started composing. Do you see this writing transitioning into, say, a screenwriting in the future? Probably write a
I
film.
did write a couple of scripts,
Okay.
but I don't have the patience. I was telling Vetri sir yesterday, I was like, to release one song, it takes my life. So I am amazed at how people have the patience, directors, how they have the patience to sit through an entire film and see it through. That takes an incredible amount of patience and discipline and faith
Right.
and courage.
Right.
And I am not that strong yet as a person.
Right.
I would every second day I would doubt myself and I would probably cry or something. It's not easy to make a film.
But why is that? Do you underestimate yourself of what you could
Probably,
achieve?
I don't know. It's not that I underestimate myself. Maybe I feel misunderstood sometimes. But
It's a nice way to put it.
yeah, I don't underestimate myself.
But since you're doing the movie with Teresa Vadasennai, when we heard about the movie, it's more like a North Madras slum background or something. But when you see you,
Yeah.
you're wondering what kind of role you might
That's
have.
why he's a national award winning director. Because
anything
he
you can-
sees past the superficial looks, no? And so his way of casting is, I asked him, I said, why do you want me to do this role? He said, because there is something in my personality that his character
Right.
has.
Okay.
That's what he looked for.
Right.
Not the look, not the skin color, nothing. It's a character trait
Right.
that he looked for.
But did that relationship start from Arikalam, since you
When I
worked
dubbed
with
for,
me?
actually Vetri sir came to me before he did his first film.
Okay.
Before he did Poladavan, he narrated a script to me,
Okay.
and then that film never got made.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. At least I never did the film with him.
Okay.
Then he called me to dub for Arikalam, and then he offered me a role in Chennai.
Okay.
He offered it to me in the first installment, and I think the entire set of actors have been changed, but I'm still.
Touch
So
wood.
I'm hoping the movie gets made soon before I also get swept away.
you have worked in Tamil and Malayalam mostly.
Yeah.
Which
If I knew
industry-
Malayalam, I would just shift there.
Oh, is it? You're more
100%.
comfortable there.
If I knew Malayalam, 100% I would.
But
The
I'm
sensibility
sure-
is better.
Okay.
The sensibility of, and one thing I love about Malayalam is the actors are the stars. That's not in any other industry. It's the only industry in India where the actors are the stars.
Yeah. Because we kept wondering, you started off with the bang in Malayalam, but you really didn't cash in on
Because
that.
it's not that I can't cash in, it's just I don't know the language, and most of the new age Malayalam directors
Right.
cast people who know the language. They want,
True.
for strong roles, you need to know the language. Tamil, I guess, is the only place where they don't care about stuff like that. I do speak Tamil though.
Right.
I speak
Right.
and read and write Tamil.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
But in Malayalam, not knowing the language is a huge disadvantage. And Malayalam is not an easy language to learn. I can pick up Hindi, but Malayalam is very tricky. It's a very difficult language.
With Siddharth movie being released in Hindi also, do you see something in Bollywood?
I don't know. I've never actively pursued Bollywood. I've always found it a bit daunting.
Probably you're more suitable for Hollywood, I think.
Yeah.
Because of
What to do? I was born in Chennai. Tough luck.
now the doors are open and Freida Pinto and Priyanka and Deepika, they're in Hollywood. So
Freida
you never
Pinto
know.
wasn't an Oscar award-winning movie.
You know, I'm just saying, you
Priyanka
never-
Chopra.
No, I'm just saying, in the future, you never know. I mean, anybody can see. Say,
Anything, yeah.
Suppose people see
Maybe
what
5 years from now, you'll be looking back at this interview and you'll be like a prophet. You never know. Anything is possible.
Because a movie like Visar and I, it went to Venice.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure a movie
true.
like Vadasanai will go to Cannes or somewhere, and somebody will.
They
see
won't
it.
recognize me in the movie. They'll be like, this is...
Yeah. That happens for many
that's,
people.
that's not going to happen.
I think the same thing happened with Aishwarya and Kakumantai. People didn't
Yeah,
recognize
probably.
her. Yeah.
Probably. Which is a good thing. Which is because that's what actors are supposed to do. They're supposed to transform. Yeah.
But how has it been working with Vetri so far?
I've
on this
never
film?
worked with him yet.
Oh, you
Yes,
haven't
not
I
started?
haven't started
with
shooting with him
okay.
yet. He has started shooting the film. I haven't. Should start in March, I think.
Okay, interesting. And you also tried your hand at Telugu films in between. You did Tadaka.
I did one, yeah.
Right. And nothing really came up after that?
I keep getting Telugu film offers. I just don't do them.
Okay. Any particular reason?
I don't know. I just never liked anything that came my way. But what am I saying? I should be signing a bilingual film. It's a Tamil Telugu film,
Okay.
which is a great story.
Hmm.
I like good stories.
Right.
So for me, that's important. That's why I don't do a lot of films, maybe.
Right. But do you keep track of what's happening in the industry? Because lately there's been some really good Telugu film.
I know.
From your
Of
first
course.
time film.
That's why I want to. That's why now I want to open myself up and do Telugu cinema for sure.
Right.
But why is that you're not active on social media or anything like, we don't see you much on Twitter or...
Yeah, because I don't know.
It's a fan. I mean, see, everything
I
else
know
you can
it's
say,
so-
with the fans, because we get to talk to you because we are. I mean, if there is somebody who want to appreciate you in, say, far
I'm
away
actually
place,
a little private and I don't like that.
because they don't, unless they see you in an airport or a hotel, they
Yeah.
never get to speak to you. But if you're active on Twitter, at least they can say directly to you, "Hey, Andrea, I saw your movie."
Yeah,
I
and that's
liked
very
you."
scary for me. It's very invasive for me.
Because
I get it. I understand. I know all this, but for me, I find it very intrusive and invasive.
Okay.
I'm very wary of social media. I'm very old school. I don't know.
But it could also happen in real life, right? You walk into a movie hall, someone comes
Yeah.
and says, "Hey, shall I take a picture with you?" So
Yeah, and a lot of times
you become defensive then?
I sometimes depends on my mood.
Okay.
That's another reason why I'm not on Twitter. Because I might be having a bad day and I might write something and the whole world will read it and you can't retract it. I mean, once it's out, it's out.
True.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
I have a foot and mouth disease, so I can't afford to do such things.
And your varied interests, writing, acting and singing, have these changed your personality over the years?
I would definitely say, yeah. Acting has opened me up a lot as a person. I used to be very, very shy and introvertish, and acting has opened that side of me up. So, in that way.
Okay.
And I think music keeps me. I think acting the film industry as such is a very unstable industry. It's very easy to lose track of yourself. and that's happened to me as well. So I think in that sense, music keeps me at least connected to who I am or what I am, which is a good thing.
Right.
So I guess they both balance each other off.
It's amazing how you brought me back to life. With every kiss, I'm yours to claim. You're my blessing, and I want this world to know that this is forever. Maybe I don't say it much, but I know you feel it in my touch, and words will never be enough to explain. And baby, I don't wanna know if you'll stay or if you'll go. A moment at a time is all I'm taking with me.
But do you feel you're more committed to music because it comes from heart, you really enjoy doing it?
I think music in general is a more pure art form than acting. When you're acting, you're pretending to be something you are not.
True.
Music, there's no pretense. Even anything, classical dance, there's no pretense, right? So these art forms as such are purer art forms. They're more closer to divinity, I would say.
Right.
Because there's no explanation as to why one person can sing and one person can't. It's something that comes out of you. It's very divine energy, actually.
Right.
And you have done a movie Mangata, which is from Pesalam, Ajith, and you've done a song in Tupaki with Vijay. So do you see yourself like acting with them, in mainstream movies in future, like as the hero?
Do you think it's okay once in a while to do these big stars?
I think it's absolutely fine. Like I said, those filmmakers don't see me in those kind of roles. It's not like they don't know I exist and I don't know that they exist.
Right.
It's just they don't see me in those roles. Just like you don't see me in a slum role, but Vetri sir sees me in that role. So directors have to see actors in roles. That's all, I guess.
Because maybe there aren't, of course, maybe misunderstanding or miscommunication in which people just assume.
I have never said I don't want to act with Ajith. I don't want to act with Vijay. I've never said that.
I know.
So people assume means I can't go to each person and say, please don't think like, I can't do that.
Right.
So, yeah.
But on that note, how is working with Ajith in Mangal? Did he cook
He's
for you?
such a
Because
gentleman.
I've heard he cooks a lot.
No, he did not cook for me, but no, it was a very small role in the thing. It was just a guest appearance that I did because of Venkat Prabhu's. But he's an absolute gentleman. I'll never forget. Most guys, if at least a star of that stature, if he was sitting and I'm walking on the set, he'll call an assistant and say, bring a chair. He stood up and said, please sit down. He doesn't need to do that.
True.
Not for me, not for anyone. He's a huge star. And he came and welcomed me on the set. I mean, he's such a gentleman. He's such a warm person. He really, really deserves all the stardom he has.
Okay.
Really does.
Right. But have you also had, say, a worst experience with, you don't have to name the actor, in some other project, probably the exact opposite to what, you just narrated. Has there been such incident?
Yeah, not all people are such, such a joy to work with.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've not had a really rotten experience. Touch wood. I haven't.
Okay. Right. And Andrea, since you're a singer or an actor, most composers now, lately, they've turned into acting. But you've been successfully, striking a perfect balance.
I didn't understand. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Most composers, lately, they're turning into acting. They're getting into acting now.
Like G.V.
Prakash or Vijay Antony.
Oh, yeah.
They're all composers, right? They're all
That's
musicians. Now, you, on the other hand, have perfectly struck a balance between, singing. You do your singing. You also act whenever you feel like you get a great role. And I ask this because acting, has a lot of monetary benefits. It gives you the limelight. You be the person you want to be. But you still choose to do what you want to do. How is that possible? You don't get influenced by all the glamour and
I would say it's not acting is a lot of hard work. I would choose a singer's life any day. Definitely. I go to the studio, I finish recording a song in an hour. I get paid to a lot of money to sing on stage, and at the most, again, it's an hour or it's a day of rehearsal. Acting, you have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, slog your slog your butt off like the whole day. Sometimes I've shot for 17, 18 hours at a stretch and then reported back in another 6 hours. It's really hard work under some extreme physical conditions. It could be really hot, it could be really cold. I would say acting is a far more difficult job over music any day. And kudos to all the actors. It's very difficult.
And how much you enjoy the stage performance?
I love being on stage. It's the best thing ever. Best feeling ever.
Recently,
Better than any red carpet feeling is being on stage.
Recently saw some pictures of
Maybe
you
those people don't know what it's like to be on stage, so the next best thing is being on the red carpet.
Because you do mostly the shows like corporate shows. I know recently I saw you like some Infosys. You put some pictures on Facebook. But we don't see you traditionally like doing it in the award shows like Filmfare, Vijay. There you don't
Filmfare
perform.
I've never performed. But I have performed at Vijay Awards.
Okay.
I've performed at Sun Singer finale last year. I've performed at Simon. I've performed at these award shows. Can't keep performing every year. It gets boring. They have to go through their cycles also.
Right. Your latest single has just come out today.
Yeah.
And you've written, you've composed, and you've also sung. You see yourself in getting into film composing in the future? Maybe
No.
you don't.
Because when I listen to film music, I don't connect to it at all. Most of it. There are some people like Santosh's music, which is really beautiful, and some, of course, Rahman sir, and Anirudh's production is really good. But overall, I don't think I have it in me to when I write songs, it's what I have in my head that's coming out.
Right.
Whereas they have to compose for a star, for a situation, for a specific director, for a specific catering to a specific audience.
Yeah.
That I can't. I don't know if I could be able to do that. So.
Right. Okay. But what do you have to say about the independent music scene in at least in the Tamil space, Andrea? Have you seen that changing over the years? Since you've debuted as a singer.
Ultimately, everyone wants to end up in the films. So I am the exception to the rule where I'm in the film industry and I want to make a mark in the independent music
You've been
scene.
doing the exact opposite.
I've been doing the exact opposite because that's where I came from and that's what I wanted to do, and I got sucked into films. But I've always wanted to keep that side of me afloat. Because it's the freedom of expression. Because like I said, in films, I'm always singing some other composer's song, some lyricist has written the lyrics. It pays really well, and I'm very grateful for everything that it's given me. But I want to express myself, my thoughts. When I write a song, I write the lyrics, I compose the melody, I create the music, or I work with people who give me the vision that I'm not able to produce. They will play for me, like a guitarist will play for me or a pianist will play for me. So that's it's a complete freedom of self-expression.
And some of the people you talked about earlier, like Shania Twain or Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, in India, we have those people successful.
Ask the record labels, because the record labels don't want to, it takes a lot of nurturing. They were not just born like that. Every single pop star in the world or rock star in the world, they had a team backing them and supporting them. You have to nurture that. If you don't nurture it, it will not happen. It's so difficult. I'm an actor. I'm a playback singer. And yet for me, it's such a struggle to put one song out. It's an absolute trauma. I swear, it's purely self-inflicted torture. Sometimes I think, why am I even doing this? So the money I'm spending on making this, I can go on a holiday and relax somewhere. So it's really difficult. There's no label support. There's no nurturing. You have to do everything yourself. I was like, my bio should read singer, actor, songwriter, producer, location manager. Forget about producer, location manager. I went and hunted for my own location. That's how it is. Which, when I'm acting in a movie, I do nothing. I show up. That's it. Someone makes my coffee, someone cuts my apple, that's my life when I'm on a set.
Right.
But this is it's very, very different.
Right. But is there someone who nurtured the singing talent in you? If you were to probably point out few persons in your life who identified and probably encouraged you to be a singer, do whatever you've been.
Nobody encouraged me to be a singer.
Okay.
I had to fight with my parents. They did not want me to take it up as a career. Nobody encouraged me. I mean, they encouraged my talent as a hobby. They were very, very supportive when music was a hobby. The moment it became a career, nobody was happy.
But that's the case with most people,
That's the
right?
case with most people. But not now. I think it's changing. Because a successful musician makes a lot more money than an engineer. Really. Or a doctor. They make a lot more money. So I think if you're good at it, and again, if you have the right support system, it's a great, it's unstable.
Right.
But the perks of it are there as well, right?
And how do you handle awkward situations like, say, Fawad Fazil, he openly declared love for you or something?
That's not an awkward situation.
No, I
It's
mean,
just-
whatever it's like, whatever situation it is.
How do you handle, you know, such
public
link-ups?
from
It,
media?
it definitely came out of the blue for you, right?
I mean, he didn't say anything bad about me, so there's nothing.
Oh no, I mean, whatever situation, quote unquote, like, not it doesn't happen for other actors openly, or
Really?
it doesn't happen that much. I mean, openly nobody says it or
I
whatever.
know.
Okay, let me rephrase. How do you react to these link-ups? I mean, do you go into a depression mode or?
I used to.
Okay.
Well, I haven't had any link ups recently, so I haven't had to react to them. So I don't know how I'll deal with it.
But you know, do you also have to blame people around you in the sense, you know, a lot of people when they see an actress with a fellow actor, they could be on a very platonic relationship, but they still the kind of, you know, try and, you know, make a controversy out of it. So do you have to blame people around you? You know what happens?
But that it has. I mean, that people think about everybody. If people see you with a girl 3 days in a row, they'll think she's your
I'm not
girlfriend.
celebrity.
Yeah, they'll think she's your girlfriend, but you're not a celebrity, so it doesn't get written about in the paper. But the way people think is the same. You understand?
Right.
It's just that because I'm an actor, it's written about in the press. So people's thinking that needs to change.
Right. Okay.
And your single is out today. Like, are you planning to have an album of songs, or
I have
what is
3
it?
albums worth of songs.
Okay.
It's all sitting on my laptop.
Okay. So because of the whatever you told me about the business thing, you were just kind of
Yeah,
slow.
it's a for me, it's like I said, it's really difficult to do this. So I only do this when I have the time, or when there's a gap in other work. That's the only time I can do it, because it's difficult. And I do this only because I feel the need to express myself, which I can't fully and totally do in films,
But your independent albums are English mostly, is it? They're not
because I only write in English, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe if I could write in Tamil, I would be a Tamil lyricist. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. But Andrea, what do you do when you're not acting? You're not singing. You
Somebody asked me
travel-
this.
travel
I
around?
love traveling. I don't have any hobbies because all my hobbies became work for me. I need to start, cultivating
You're
new
blessed
hobbies.
in that way,
It's not-
hobbies turning into.
You do something to relax. What do I do to relax? I can't listen to music to relax. That's my job. So yeah.
But since you grew up without watching Tamil movies, once you started acting,
No,
did
I
you go
still
back?
don't watch Tamil
Watch,
movies.
okay.
No, I still don't.
And
That's
what are your favorite travel destinations? Where do you go?
London. I love London. It's my home away from home. I love going there.
Because we follow your Facebook to see.
Oh yeah,
what is
I
the
go
only-
there at least once or twice a year. I wish I
Okay.
could go every 3 months, but I love that place.
And on a concluding note, do you set short-term goals, and do you see yourself doing this, say in a few years from now?
I used to do this, but then it's very, how shall I say, you have no control over your circumstances, right?
Right.
You can only have control over what you do and what you say, but how that impacts when, the opportunities, we have no control over.
Right.
I can only work hard, for example, on a film. I have no control over when it will release, and I have no control over the repercussions of that.
Right.
So it's difficult to make plans, but I do think that being prepared, you always stay prepared, always be prepared for the best and the worst. That's pretty much it. So I have to take care of myself. I have to make sure that I'm in good shape, that my head is as good as it can be, my heart is in the right place, that I'm doing what I need to do.
Right.
So when it comes, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. And then from the Tamil songs that you've sung, if you had to pick one song, your favorite one, which one that will be?
I think iduvarai.
If you could probably sing a couple of lines, we could end the show.
Aha, okay. இதுவரை இல்லாத உணர்விது இதயத்தில் உண்டான கனவிது பலித்திடும் அந்நாளை தேடிடும் பாடல் கேட்டாயோ மூடாமல் மூடி மறைத்தது தானாக பூத்து வருகிறது தேடாமல் தேடி கிடைத்தது இங்கே. Okay.